After Pennsylvania was in the national spotlight for 6 weeks, Reading, Pennsylvania was featured on several stories. The national news media was here covering the event. How do you think, Mr. Mayor, we were portrayed to the rest of the country? You had the Today Show here, you had Dan Rather here. What did they see about Reading, Pennsylvania?
Well, I think what they saw is a working class community that's picking itself back up by the bootstraps and trying to move forward. And what was nice about it is they recognized that we had some importance in this race, and I think that's a real key. When they said, they're all over the state, but they stopped here a couple of times, at least Obama did. And when I walked into the Marvell Ranch with him, and I looked over and I saw this guy looked like Dan Rather, I said, I can't believe it.
That's Dan Rather.
It's Dan Rather over there. And then I walked out, and Ann Curry was standing there. And but I think it really there's a level of excitement that I haven't seen in a long time. But it was fun. But like we said earlier, 6 weeks after a while, you get really exhausted because you got other things to do besides this, and trying to keep up with all the news on the campaign and who's going where and getting to the events. It was an amazing experience.
In fact, you're backing Barack Obama. He paid a visit to Reading 2 times, as you mentioned, before the election on Tuesday. You had a chance to sit down with Barack one-on-one for about 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
Tell us about that conversation. What did he say to you? What did you say to him?
Well, I met them at Lidditz, and they were at Wilbur Chocolate, and he came out of Wilbur Chocolate, and he had a box of candy and sat down next to me. And I'd like to tell the story. He gave me the first piece of candy out of the box, and then he said, "Now tell me about Reading." And I said, "Well, let me finish chewing my candy." He said, "Well, you need some water." So he went up and got me a bottle of water. I said, "You don't have to do that, Senator." I said, But we talked. He was easy to talk to. He was a guy that you can see he's a listener, and we talked about the need for cities our size to have better infrastructure. And that the amount of money that's going to come up in the future are going to need federal funds to be able to upgrade water and sewer plants and pipe underground utilities. I pushed hard on the Schuylkill Valley Metro. I know it's really early to do that, but that's something that myself and my good friend Fred Levering, we've been, every chance we get, wherever we go, we bring it up and saying we need this. And I talked about what we're doing in crime and the progress we've made in the city in crime, in education, and then just some of the other issues that cities have, and try to attract businesses back in to become more the entertainment and arts district and that. And then I said, we appreciate him coming, we appreciate him listening. I asked him, I said, now, is everybody giving you a list of things that they want funded? And he looked at me, he says, surprisingly not. He said,
wow.
He said, it says they want to see if I'm elected first, but he said not too many people have been badgering him yet. So I said, well, let me be the first to ask you for $400 million for Schuylkill Valley Metro. But be that as it may. But it was a good experience, and again, it was fun talking to him. He came back, and he really seems to relate well one-on-one to people, and he's a good speaker. He's obviously very charismatic.
He's got charisma, very gregarious, outgoing.
Yep, and he really gets a crowd going, like we saw up at Holy Name, at Reading High School. And it was a great day for the event up there.
Let me ask you, and we'll stay with the election right now, what do you think of the delegates and the super delegates? Because Barack Obama, he could maintain his lead and get the popular vote, but you get to the convention, and these individuals can change their minds.
I think the Democrats have the most cumbersome system ever, and I wish it could be simplified. And I wish it would be simple. To me, it sounds like there's no accountability for the superdelegates. They can pretty much do what they want, and the only pressure that they'll feel is that if they come from an area where everybody has voted one way and they vote the other way, they're probably not going to be superdelegates anymore. But be that as it may, I hope that they'll do the right thing and represent the people, because I think that was the intent of it in the first place. But I know that they have the ability to go either way. I just think from a Democratic Party point of view, I hope it's over soon, so that people can start coming together and be united. But the history of the Democratic Party is so on the other way, unfortunately.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.